Home Show.
Randy from Klein, Texas, has a question about a moving sidewalk.
Well, it's his front walkway, Tom. Randy writes, a pine and oak tree are causing it to move. The individual concrete pieces, he says, have moved, but they haven't cracked yet. He says, but they're becoming a tripping hazard. He wants to know, what are my options to fix this short of tearing it out and starting all over again?
You know, Charlie, you write these headings for me when it says moving sidewalk, and this is going to date me, and probably you'll relate to it and date you too, but
okay.
I was thinking about the Jetsons.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember the moving sidewalk.
Yes.
And they would just stand there.
Right.
Okay. Now that I got that out of my head.
Or like you would encounter if you go to Denver International Airport or a lot of other airports with
That's
the moving.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have that. But I just remember the actual sidewalk moving in the
Right.
Jetsons. It had little squares.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Back to the question.
Yes.
I've seen Concrete Raising Corporation, and Charlie, you were at that shoot. We did a Facebook Live once where they actually took that sidewalk that was all cattywampus up and down and over and under and from the trees, and they did a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit here and a little bit there. Before you knew it, it was not flat, but it was even, and it was actually sloped a little bit to the street. So when it rained, the water would go to the street. So people weren't walking through puddles, but it wasn't a tripping hazard. And they didn't have to take any of it out. And of course, if you remember, Charlie, they fixed a big piece of their driveway too, and that was a little bit different operation.
I remember that, yeah.
But yeah, I would call Concrete Raising Corporation first and see if they can come out and just kind of put that thing into a state of usability.
Right. At least make it all true. Make all the sections true to each other.
Just true, so you don't trip on anything. It doesn't have to be perfectly flat. Nothing is flat, even the world. But as far as that goes, and a little slope to the street's always good to drain the water or somewhere else, but to your neighbor's yard's always good. But as far as that goes, it usually doesn't have to be jackhammered out.
All right. Now, is it possible, that he's in a case, now we don't have a picture, so we don't know.
Yeah.
There comes a point, though, when a root gets under a sidewalk like that you do have to go to an option of changing the sidewalk or something. Isn't that right?
Well, if you get the anchor roots, which are the big ones that get on top, and they get under there and they just keep getting bigger and bigger, even if you could get it close to comfortable now, it's still going to get worse later because the tree's going to keep growing unless you chop those anchor roots out. So if it's that bad and the anchor roots are getting that bad and you get these live oaks and stuff, they'll raise out of the ground 3 feet, 4 feet. I have one in front of my house that's probably 3 feet out of the ground. And those roots are everywhere where it's just nothing but solid lumber. But as far as that goes, then not only does the sidewalk have to come out, but all those roots have to be cut. And there'll be a point where do you save the tree or do you save the sidewalk? Because somebody's going to win. And if you keep the tree will always win.
Right. You got a question? Be happy to help you out. And if you were insulted by Tom's flat or round earth comment, please send us.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we're not judging. Whatever you believe, good for you.
Well, no, think about it. Charlie, I've used this as an example. The world is flat, the earth is flat, and it is round.
Yes, it is.
It's kind of an oblong thing if you look at the whole. But where you're standing, where your house is, it's as flat as can be. So I agree with both.
There, you know what? There you are. We adhere to the beliefs of all people. All right, do you have a question? Believe it or not, we'll help you out. Go visit HomeShowRadio.com and fill out that Ask Tom form. Send it in, and we'll answer it in a video like this that we'll post on YouTube or our Facebook page or HomeShowRadio.com. We post a new one every day.